Pot stocks cooling off today, but the case for CBD is heating up with the FDA holding its first ever hearing, I should say, on the potential medicinal benefits of the hemp hype. There are a lot of questions out there still that they're asking, Tim, in terms of the benefits, the science, et cetera.
They should be. And there's a lot of false claims. There's a lot of snake oil. There's a lot of people that need CBD oil regulated or tinctures or whatever it's going to be, whatever form it takes. Just because it's been passed as legal through the hemp bill does not mean that the products and the products that go in food should be unregulated. I think if you ask everybody in the industry, they would argue the same thing. Today's hearing was about 140 people parading up in front of the FDA and actually giving views, giving testimony, giving insight, probably claiming they want the same thing. I think this is a process that's going to take some time, and frankly, I wouldn't hold your breath on a decisive outcome today or tomorrow.
Let's get to Aditi Roy, who had been monitoring the hearing. Aditi, what was the meeting like?
Well, it was a spirited meeting with FDA officials grilling CBD manufacturers and proponents on whether the ingredient actually provides the benefits that advocates say it does. This while those who testified, which included company executives, advocates, and researchers, asked the FDA to set up a regulatory framework for CBD to be used in food products, beverages, and supplements. FDA panelists asked them for data to help develop dosage requirements and learn more about the effects of CBD on users and even pets. Meantime, one executive at Wildflower, which sells CBD soaps, was questioned by an FDA panelist about the medical benefits of his products.
We've had a lot of interactions with customers that it's simply more effective as a beauty product when we include that ingredient.
And when you say effective, what do you mean by that?
It delivers a higher sense of personal attraction, increasing. It's more desirable to the product, not through clinical definitions, but through a consumer-based.
And on another note, the Illinois House passed recreational cannabis legalization today following Senate approval of the bill earlier this week. The bill now goes to the governor, who is expected to sign. That would make Illinois the 11th U.S. state to legalize recreational cannabis. Melissa, back to you.
Aditi, thank you. Aditi Roy joining us from the New York Stock Exchange today. I think that last soundbite speaks volumes in terms of the claim, or not even the claims, but just how do you measure any sort of benefit of these products?
Tim just mentioned there's a lot of people selling snake oil.
Yes.
A lot of this stuff is oil, and to me,
although you could probably use some CBD soap.
No, I mean,
or just soap.
Just
soap. It just seems like
right.
it's being infused in a lot of products, and I think what he was trying to say is it's making our products more attractive because people think that there's some sort of medicinal sort of situation. I think the FDA is going to find that they don't, for the most part, have it. There's no way to put your finger on it. Listen, at the end of the day, you've been saying this for, it seems like years now. It's THC for medicinal purposes and then recreational. Isn't that the big thing, not the CBD? CBD feels like vaporware to me.
Well, look, I'm invested in some companies that actually have some CBD application attached to something like a topical, which could have lidocaine in it. You can talk about the impact of lidocaine because that's approved by the FDA. You could say it has CBD oil in it. So you basically, if you're looking for some kind of skin anesthetic plus, that's what people are doing. But yes, when you talk about medical and you talk about the pharma and you talk about the science, this is where companies are getting multiples. I mean, this is where you actually see people willing to pay for companies. I do think, however, because of the capital market structure and the legal status of on the federal level, you are seeing CBD companies come to market. There's going to be a handful that come through in the next few months on NASDAQ, on New York Stock Exchange, that are going to be big deals, and they're going to be well supported.
And there are going to be more consumer product companies going after these sorts of companies or these sorts of businesses in order to get into this latest buzzword. Carter, you don't use CBD.
Right. No, I don't have the patches. I definitely have soap.
Okay, good.
Soap on a rope, the old-fashioned kind.
Whatever.
All right. On that note.
So, but meanwhile, what do you think of the pot stocks in general?
I tell you what, as we talk about markets, it's a great markets discussion because the risk factor in this sector is such, and companies that need to raise a lot of capital in the next few months because it's that time again, I think it's a very dangerous time in the sector right now to be running after pot stocks because they're down.